might have to cut him.
What's up, LL Nation? Your boy is bugging this morning. He's talking a lot of trash. He's mad because the real AFC Championship was played last night at Arrowhead.
what you mean?
And now we go on to the Super Bowl. We wait to see who will join Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Out in LA for the Super Bowl in about 4 weeks.
Wait, I don't know if you remember or not, but week 17, them Chiefs went to see them Bengals and got a problem put on.
Mm-hmm. I heard that all last week from Bills fans too.
Mm-hmm.
Week 5, we went to Kansas City and put it on them. No, it's playoff P, boy. This playoff P.
He's not Joey B.
So you trying to say Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen?
100%.
LL Nation, let us know, man. This dude.
Joe Burrow's going to the Super Bowl in 1 year, playing a full year. He take Josh Allen how many tries?
Let's be professional. This is Lefty Podcast. It's a Monday morning after a great weekend of football. I'm Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics. The original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire, right there at Overtime Malik. We're brought to you and featuring Honora Whiskey. As always, go to honorawhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey. honorawhiskey.com. LL Nation, we thank you guys for tagging in. If you're new, let us know where you're tapping in from. Hey, and the petty train is going to be full today, okay? The petty train is going to be full today, so you need to get your nominations off right now. Like whomever you're nominating for the petty train, put them in the chat right now because, man, there might not be seats available by the time we get to the segment at the end of the show. What are we talking about today? Did Notre Dame actually be the national champs in 2022 and 23? Well, gosh darn it, if you're listening to the players that are returning, that's what they're talking about.
That's what they're talking about?
I guess the Marcus Freeman era is all about national championship or bust. And we'll get to that, and we'll give you some video evidence of that. We'll also hear from the players on Tyler Buckman, who, by their assumption, is the guy, and by one wide receiver is special, and by the other wide receiver is kind of, we'll get to that. But give us a little bit of rope, LL Nation, because we got to talk about this weekend in the NFL. We have to. I wouldn't do my job, right? Co-hosting this show if I didn't lead off with what the hell did we watch last night?
Yeah.
Literally, the greatest 2 minutes of regulation football, last 2 minutes I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
In my life.
It was too crazy.
It was bananas. And see, it is what you call the perfect imperfection. Okay. And what I mean by that is it takes imperfection to create something so perfect. This is what I mean by that. Let's go back to 8 minutes in the fourth quarter.
8 minutes in the fourth quarter.
3rd and 1 at the Buffalo Bills 6-yard line. And somehow, some way, I will cancel the interview just on this play call. Somehow, some way, Eric Bieniemy thought it was smart to put Blake Bell behind center and run an option play with McKinney.
Too cute.
Too cute. Like, dude, you literally have run the ball down their throat on this drive. Literally. Yeah. And you get to the 6-yard line on 3rd down and 1 with an opportunity to go up 2 scores with under 8 minutes left, and that's what you come up with. This is what I'm talking about. It takes imperfect moments like that by the coaching staff. It took another imperfect moment by the Bills coaching staff with 13 seconds left.
You saying the squib? You think they should have squibbed?
Dude, I don't know what they should have done, but Leslie
keep it in bounds.
Look, Eric Bieniemy, I would have canceled his interview. Leslie Frazier, I would have canceled his interview after yesterday's game.
Definitely Leslie Frazier. Definitely.
Y'all both can stay where you're at. Right? And I'm not too quick. I know we got a lot of Chicago Bears fans, part of LL Nation. Pump your brakes on Brian Dable. Pump your brakes.
Yeah, pump him.
You're giving them credit for Josh Allen. He's the same OC that developed or didn't develop Jalen Hurts and Tua. That's on his resume.
Very true.
And once Jalen Hurts went to Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma, he became a totally different quarterback. So I know you love Josh Allen. Josh Allen's just a big boy that can move.
Yeah, he's a big Ben Roethlisberger. He's a big Ben.
Yeah, because look, I don't know how you go into that game and you don't target Stephon Diggs at least 10 times. And I know Davis had a great game.
Yeah, Davis had an unbelievable game.
But Stephon Diggs was literally invisible for 3 quarters. So that's on Brian Davis. So I'm not about to anoint this dude. Impact.
I'm not the fact that I didn't think they could really guard Stephon the whole time. But, when you're not throwing it his way, I'm sure he had a lot of one-on-ones. I saw a lot of man by both teams yesterday.
Yeah.
And for you not to be going to your number one in a game like this, it's a discredit to what was going on, but also fits to how I feel like Josh Allen is like an overhyped Mark Sanchez.
Come on, man. Stop playing. First of all, stop.
Yes. Well, I remember when Mark Sanchez in the first 3 years was back-to-back AFC championships. They had a number one defense. And what happened? He ended up being butt fumbled 2 years later. That's just what's going to happen to Josh Allen because he's riding high on success, but he's not getting it done. That team can't stay together forever.
That's a reason he's not getting it done, man. Y'all need to stop. This is what angers me, man. Look, NFL. I understand why the NFL doesn't want to admit it. And that's cool.
What do they want to admit?
Like, dude, this is the Mahomes era, bro. And it's cool. And people don't want to admit it. This is the Mahomes era. He's going to be there.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
I'm not saying he might not get to the dance as much as Brady, but gosh darn it, he's been to the AFC Championship game 4 years in a row. And if his dumb teammate didn't line up off sides, this would be his 3rd Super Bowl in a row.
That's right. No, yeah, that's definitely
this is the Mahomes era, okay?
This is Mahomes
era. And
era.
People just need to admit it. It's the Mahomes era. And it's perfect that he did what he did on yesterday when Josh Allen tried to take over the AFC on his territory, left him 13 seconds, and that dude treated him like Smokey from Friday.
Yeah.
Nah.
Back up. You thought you was about to win?
It's not time yet.
He thought that 2-point conversion was going to help.
Disrespect. No disrespect to Joe Burrow. None. No disrespect to the Bengals. None. But sometimes you just have to realize, like, yo, it's just that dude's time, man. You just have to wait him out. Just like people had to wait out Michael Jordan. They had to wait for him to go to baseball. Hakeem just waited him out. That's all.
Wait a minute. Joey B's not waiting at all.
He ain't got no choice. Well, he ain't no choice. This ain't up to him. This is not up to him, bro. This is not
up to him,
bro.
The Bengals wasn't relevant until Joe Burrow stepped on the team.
Right here on Lucky Lefty podcast. I'm putting 100 up right now. 100.
I'm taking it.
Take the bet. 100.
I'm taking it. Wait, what are the points?
I don't need no points. If you want points, you can take them. All I know, I know who's winning. See, that's what I'm saying. I already know you're not that confident because you asking for points.
That's what. Wait a minute.
No, this is straight up. No. Who's winning? Because you feel like the Bengals are going to win, right?
The Bengals are going to win.
Okay, then what you need points for?
Because that's Vegas.
No, stop. This ain't Vegas. No, this ain't Vegas. This is Lucky Lefty. This is Lucky Lefty. We're not talking no points. All of a sudden, you this confident Bengals fan, but you want some points?
What am I supposed to say?
You said they winning straight up, right?
They're going to win, but
okay, that's it. You said they're going to win, right? And I'm telling you they're not going to win. That's the bet. That's it. It's simple as that. It's as simple as that. And, dude, if you think, man, look, if you think the Bengals are about to hold Patrick Mahomes to 28 points, you are out of your mind.
Yeah, I don't know about 28.
The number one defense just got blitzed for 42. You are out of your mind, dude. Out of your mind. You better get a new score.
It'll be,
you want to pick the Bengals?
It'll be in the 40s.
That's fine.
It'll be 42-40 Bengals. Easily. 42-40. Joe Burrow going to come down with that last. You saw what he did with Tanner downhill. He had 400 yards in the game.
Who?
Joey B.
Against who? Tennessee?
or close to
you talking
it.
about going back to
Man, listen.
You talking about going back to? Let me explain this to you. No. See,
will be the AFC MVP and Super Bowl champ in 2022.
There is Malik, man. You acting brand new, bro. You acting brand new, and you're doing a disservice to LL Nation. Okay. Let me tell you something, bro. When you walk, there are no scapegoats for you.
What?
You gotta line up. Hold on. You gotta line up and just ball for 4 quarters. Ain't no scapegoats. Ain't gonna be no Derrick Henry tap dancing looking awful. There will be no Ryan Tannehill on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 taking the ball out of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, you see that?
And run. None of that's happening, bro. None of that's happening.
What happened to King Henry? The King. Remember Hattie B's hot chicken. What happened to?
See, this is what happens when, and this is something that I don't like in sports in general, right? Because you have players. This goes to Cam Akers with the Rams. You have players that are inspirational. They come back from injury to help their team out, but the whole time the team has been fine without them, right?
Yeah.
But then you want to put that person back in the workhorse spot. D'Onta Foreman has been on a roll for 5 games.
So you telling me you're not gonna put in King Henry in that playoff game?
Dude, you gotta have some balls.
You know you're not. You know you're gonna put him
as a coach. You gotta have some balls as a coach. As soon as D'Onta Foreman came in, what did he do? His first touch. Didn't he go like 40 yards? Didn't he go like 40 yards? Look, man, as a coach, you got to get off your pedestal and off that inspirational stuff. And you have to realize at that point, D'Onta Foreman was a better running back than Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry wasn't 100%. He wasn't.
See, he would have got fired if they lost and they didn't play Derrick Henry.
He lost anyway. He lost
with house money, though.
That's why I say it takes kahunas to understand who's your better option at that point in time.
But wait a minute. You got to remember the defense sacked Joe Burrow like 10 times. So explain that. Joey B was getting
Irish Gordon. I'm not seeing into the future. We've seen this. What are y'all talking about? See, this is why I don't like this, bro. Because this is the same stuff that people apply to Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
People apply this to Tom Brady all the time and say, you're not about to walk into New England and beat Tom Brady in the Tom Brady era. People are just slow to recognize that this is the Mahomes era in the AFC. It is what it is. It is what it is. This is the dude in the middle of the season that everybody was ragging, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? This offense is broke. Okay.
Yeah.
The offense is broke. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the scene of the crime, which is the AFC Championship at Arrowhead, like it's been the last 4 seasons, I don't have to see in the future. I know what has been and what is going to continue to be. Has nothing to do about the future. Nothing to do about the future.
So you're using history.
What did we say? Bro, we said it. We said it and we applied it to Notre Dame. What did we say when they came back and hit that switch in the 4th quarter against the Chargers? What did we say? Nobody else in football has that switch at that time of the game. Nobody. Didn't we say it?
But we gotta be honest too. They was literally wide open on those 2 plays.
Well, you know what? If Cass is scared, they're scared. That's not our fault. That's the number 1 defense, right?
I'm definitely canceling Leslie Frazier's for the 2nd time. You're not interviewing with us, man. You done gave up 80 yards.
That's the number 1 defense, right? Right? Is that not the number 1 defense?
Number 1 pass defense. Number 1 pass defense.
They came in week 5 and just decimated Patrick Mahomes, right? Right? Patrick Mahomes didn't go out, get another receiver. He didn't go to the ownership and say, I need help. He didn't do none of that. He said, okay. All right, y'all run that back. Run that back.
Yeah.
And they left points on the field. Kickers.
But Josh Allen was never. I don't think
You gotta
he's fit
stop
to
with
get
this
it
Josh
done.
Allen hate.
He's not fit to get it done in Buffalo.
Bro, you
He's
gotta
not.
stop this Josh Allen hate, man. What else do
It's
you want
not
him
hate.
to do? What else do
I
you
want
want
him to
him to
win.
do?
I want him to win.
How did he not play a winning game yesterday? What else could he have done? Tell me what else you wanted Josh Allen to do.
Maybe play better in the first half.
Okay, so the defense of the Chiefs had nothing to do with that.
Josh Allen is your game changer, right? That's your screen popper, right? Because they got another guy over there who don't matter who the defense is. So,
well, see, first of all, we don't make that mistake of comparing Josh Allen to Patrick Mahomes.
As long as we don't
do other idiots. There's other idiots that make that comparison. I don't know people like this is the game to see whose AFC is going to be. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, as long as we know that's not the case, then I'm good then. I'm good because I don't like the overhype of Josh can't get it done out.
This is about to be the rivalry, and we're going to hear it next week. Is this the new rivalry in the AFC? Burrow.
The only rivalry that exists in the AFC, well, now Joe Burrow threw his name in there, but it's Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson going to come back, put his name in the AFC category, and Lamar Jackson's going to come back healthy and put his name in that category.
Yeah, people have definitely forgot about Deshaun Watson. Look, man, I know it's various reasons why it happens for a certain segment of the population, why they just don't want to, because at first it was, Patrick Mahomes just has the better talent.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Tyreek, Kelsey, yeah.
Then it was, well, can he do it a second year? Can he do it a third year? See, and they keep just making excuses instead of just realizing and acknowledging that the dude
10 years in talking about can he still get it done?
Right. You know what I'm saying? But, Tom Brady can win his first 2 championships with a Hall of Fame defense filled with like 5 Hall of Famers and get all the credit. Like he was the one. The dude put up 16 points, man. See this? My disrespectful moment. And this is where when people try to compare Tom Brady to Michael Jordan, this is when I laugh. Nobody ever dared to tell Michael Jordan what they were going to do to him before the NBA Finals and actually do it. The New York Giants told Tom Brady with the greatest offense he's ever had that we holding you to 17 points. Tom Brady laughed in the middle of the week and he only scored 17 points. Don't ever talk about him in the same breath of Michael Jordan. Ever. Nobody's ever walked on the court and told Michael Jordan, I'm holding you to 20 tonight. And did it in the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
and
not the finals.
It wasn't like, I don't want to hear he didn't have help. The dude had Randy Moss, Edelman. That dude had a squad.
Gronk.
He got held to 17. So we can stop it. He's the greatest quarterback of all time, but that greatest athlete of all time.
So you using it because of not the fact that Tom Brady done been to almost 10 Super Bowls.
I said he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's got to put you in the greatest athlete category, though, too.
Does he play both ways? I know Mike impacts the game both ways. Does Tom Brady ever make a stop on defense? See, this argument, you can't win. You can't win this argument. So
what do you mean does he play defense?
He's the greatest, quite possibly the greatest football player ever and the greatest quarterback ever. That's not even debatable.
But you say athlete is not the same.
No. We got to stop, man.
Athlete's more than physical, though.
We got to stop. You're right. It's definitely about the mental.
44 still whooping butt out here. That's a great athlete to have.
Facts. Plays one way. Plays one way. Because we can parlay to the next game. We can transition to the next game. Let's be honest. Tom Brady doesn't get back in that game unless the Rams try to give it to him.
The Rams were trying everything.
They wanted to gift them the game.
I'm talking about fumblings, snaps over the head. It was just, they played so scared. I've never seen anything like, you just felt the weight of Tom Brady just being in the stadium And it is no matter what they did on defense, Matthew Stafford was feeling that shit. That's why when he hit Cooper Kupp, he was running all the way down there because he knew if Antoine Winfield didn't let the man slip behind him, the triple crown king of the season. Matthew Stafford, we talking different about him today.
Man.
24 unanswered almost.
But
being scared, running the ball, being predictable.
The cojones to come out there. I don't know what they were thinking on that quarterback draw in the first play. I don't know what McVay was on for that one.
Hey, you talking about wanting to lose? It was too much going on that was weird that made it seem like the football guys didn't want Tom Brady to lose that game.
But I tell you what, there's nothing better. Let's talk about this, and maybe this can be the question of the day. Something that happens. What's better than watching anything than a wide receiver? We saw it yesterday, whether it's Davis or Mike 21 for the Chiefs. He played for the Vikings too. All of a sudden, his last name is skipping my mind. You know, the DB that fell.
Oh, yeah. My
right?
God.
Or the move Cooper Kupp put on dude, not the long catch, but the play before. The play to the sideline. Yeah. There's nothing better than watching the feet of a wide receiver embarrass a DB.
Yeah.
It's almost like a crossover in basketball. Right? It's like
they set it up just like it because we know that most DBs don't want to really tackle for real. So it looks like they're just shuffling like basketball.
Yeah.
You get a shifty guy like that.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
And the move that Cooper Kupp put on him, the move that Davis, that's a dope last name, by the way. I'm glad he put up that 200 with the 4 tutties. The move he put on that DB and literally made him fall. Yeah. Like that dude's going to be a meme for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it was too big of a moment to get embarrassed like that.
Man.
Not to remember.
I don't know if there's anything sweeter, man, than watching a wide receiver do that to a DB. Well, maybe a defensive end embarrassing a tackle on a counter move or like a spin move or something like that.
Yeah, I think the cleanest thing in football for me, outside of getting shook like that, because I'm a big fan of that, is a smooth run over by a running back.
You mean like Josh Allen did to Snead when he knocked him out the game in the fourth quarter?
I'm talking more like Adrian Peterson on the Steelers' Joe Hayden. Run over like that. That's the cleanest thing you could ever see in sports because you can't find that nowhere else. You know what I mean? Where he just one arm throw you on it. Like, that's ridiculous. That's a clean move for me. Getting shook is hard because like when I played, I used to shake defenders. I used to talk stuff about grabbing their ankles and stuff. But the thing is, the defensive player will always have an excuse. Oh, I was trying to force you inside. Oh, I was trying to, So you had to pull up film to really enjoy, replaying me cooking you like that. But running somebody over, you can't lie about that.
Right.
So
Lucky Lefty podcast. So it's a lot of speculation that Tom Brady, just contractually, the cap hit next year on Tampa Bay. They won't be able to bring back some of the talent. I don't know if he'll have the same surrounding cast. He might want to walk away. But I can tell you something. I know one thing, and I'm about to make Bears fans real happy. I know one thing I found out this weekend. Aaron Rodgers needs a lot of help around him to win games in the playoffs. I don't want to hear this about this dude's a bad man. No, that dude needs help.
He is a bad man.
He needs help. If he doesn't have a squad around him, he's not winning.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
What do you mean? This man be winning 12 games every season.
In the regular season. In the regular season. And let's keep it a buck. Because I said the same thing about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Right? In the Tom Brady era, this is facts. In the Tom Brady era, the AFC East was the worst division in all of the NFL by win percentage, which meant that was 5 to 6 guaranteed wins every year. You just mark it down.
That's not enough to get you in the playoffs, though.
No, this is my point. I mean, that's a head start. Okay, you can mark down 5 to 6 wins. We already a good team. You're going to give us 5 to 6 wins, which means in order to get home field of the remaining 10, we can go 5-5, or better yet, let's say we go 7-3, and now we home field and we good.
Home field every time, yeah.
Man, that was no question that Tom Brady and the Patriots were going to win a division.
But you also got to give credit to them, though.
This is my point. The NFC Central is horrible, bro. Or the NFC North is horrible. It's horrible.
NFC is the harder competition.
No. I said the NFC North is horrible.
Okay.
The Lions are horrible. The Bears are horrible. The Vikings are every now and then.
They're consistent.
Dude, the division stinks. It stinks. It stinks. It stinks. So sometimes it's like, yo, you can do something, and when people don't look at the context of it, it's like, okay.
But you know why it's so dope? Why they stink? The conference stinks because one team is really good,
bro. You can take the Packers out of. I watched the Bears all year. You can take the Packers out of. The Bears stunk. It didn't matter if they played the Packers twice. They sucked.
Wait, they didn't say they had a top defense for a while during the regular season.
No, their pass defense was top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was without Khalil Mack for the most of the year. Quinn was a stud. Akeem Hicks was injured. Eddie Goldman was injured.
But that's a good team, though.
Shaun did a good job with a lot of injuries and a depleted secondary. I'll give him that. But once again, those stats. 4 of those games were against the Vikings and the Lions. Dude, I'll say it again. Okay? That can be misleading. That's all I'm saying. That can be misleading.
So that's what do the Bears need then? Because they got defense, in my opinion.
And my point is the fact that, to go to what you said, the fact that the Bills were the number 1 defense, they played against putrid offenses in the East for 6 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be slightly skewed. I mean, if in another division, they probably still would be top 5, but they wouldn't be number 1. Who were the quarterbacks they faced 6 times? Tua, Mac Jones, right? And what's the other quarterback?
Zach Wilson or Joe Flacco, whoever.
Yeah, Zach Wilson with the Jets. Come on, man. Like, are you kidding me? That's 6 games where they faced below average to below average quarterbacks. You think that impacts your pass stats, your pass defense stats?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely impacts it, but I think that game came down to the better quarterback, and the better quarterback is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I thought you was about to say the better quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo. I was about to put you on the petty train, bro.
Nah, see, I'm giving the credit to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is the reason why.
Kyle Shanahan, the play call
is elite.
The play call against Dallas on 3rd down that eventually came up short. Genius. The play call to Debo against Green Bay. Genius. Hey, man, look.
If Tommy is calling plays like that for Tyler Buckner, we win it.
I can only hope and pray.
Because that's what elite play caller looks like, to where you got a guy that's questionable that it don't even matter.
Yeah, it's not about what you have in the book. It's about knowing when to use what you have in the book.
Because we got the players. I can see we got a Debo on our team, a little Lorenzo Styles, maybe. He's big.
I don't know if you can use Lorenzo Styles like Debo Samuels. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know.
You're gonna have to get creative though. Because Lorenzo got to touch it at least 5-6 times a game. At least.
I agree with that. More than that. You have to get the ball in his hands. You have to get the ball in his hands.
First half, just throwing 3 quick ones. You know,
I got Irish Guardian Knott, who's one of our biggest supporters, man. I saw in the chat that he said Mahomes isn't Brady. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback in year 4 than Tom Brady was in year 4. Go look at the stats.
I believe that.
Go look at the stats. See, these people, dude, I'm not comparing what he's going to be. All I'm telling you is this is his era.
Yeah.
In the AFC. Just admit it.
Yeah.
Stop comparing him to Brady. This is his time. And at the end of his time, you'll be able to compare what he did to Tom Brady. But for right now, he's owning these dudes in the AFC. Owning them. And that's not to say he can't lose, because Tom Brady lost games.
Yeah.
In the AFC playoffs. But this is the Mahomes era. You can let it go.
So for the playoffs, you book it.
Let it go. Because people want to act like Tom Brady came in throwing for like 300 yards. He was a game manager, dude.
Yeah, he was.
And evolved
was never a game manager.
Exactly. So if we just talk about career art, Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Tom Brady was early in his career. The stats bear it out. It's not even close, matter of fact.
Yeah, it's hard to even compare right now because Tom has such a head start. But I'm sure in year 20, Patrick Mahomes gonna have some crazy.
We don't even know if Pat is gonna make it to year 20.
Oh, so you think he can do just as much in half the time as Brady?
You realize last year Pat was dealing with the bad toe.
Yeah.
The entire playoffs. Right? It wasn't just the Super Bowl where we saw his lack of ability and lack of mobility. You saw it in the divisional round and the championship game as well last year.
That run that he had yesterday, he looked kind of slow, kind of gimpy. We had that 30, it was like the first drive where he had that 35-yard run. He looked kind of heavy.
Pat is one of those dudes, if you put him on the clock, you'd be like, this dude is slow as hell. But somehow, some way, it must be the way his body moves. It must be amoeba-like because dudes can't catch up to him.
I mean, he's running for the face. And it's like even in the pocket, guys are standing, I feel like standing right next to him. He'll look him in the eyes and then just run away.
Like he has some type of Medusa effect. Like as soon as
I'm like, he's right there.
Right.
And he just like slowly gets, it's like, man, that's crazy. It almost makes you think they don't want to tackle him.
Yo, you know what I mean? So let's talk about Joey B.
Oh, the guy.
Look, I tweeted out before the game and you saw it, right? Because I saw a bunch of people talking about people have disrespected the Titans all year. And they think the Titans soft. I'm like, dude, the Titans got Ryan Tannehill, bro. Like that ain't nobody's disrespecting the Titans. Their quarterback is Ryan Tannehill.
That's it.
That's the issue.
With an injured Derrick Henry.
Yes, that's the issue.
So
what happened on the first play? This dude is the first quarterback in the history of the NFL playoffs to throw a pick on the first and last throws of the game. On his first and last throws of the game.
Yo, that's why I was like, as soon as he threw that first pick, I said, oh, yeah, we win. Because you got to be nervous.
Man.
First play? No, bro. And Joey B, you know, he cool as a fan. He getting sacked every other play.
And I'm going to keep it a buck.
Pressured.
I'm late to the party on A.J. Brown, dude.
Really?
I'm late to the party. I mean, I knew he's a big-time receiver. But, Saturday,
you just got to appreciate both of those games, though, too.
He tried to put the team on his back. He literally tried to put the Titans on his back. What did he end up with? 142?
It was too heavy. Putting the Titans on his back was too heavy.
Kudos to, DJ Reader had a fantastic game. Fantastic game. Was in the backfield the entire day.
That's my guy.
Mike Hilton in the spot. Big interception. Big plays.
Number 21, right?
Woozie.
Ooh, we got it.
Who got burned a couple of times.
That's okay.
But, you have
Eli
to
Apple. Where have you ever seen Eli Apple make a comeback in a career unless he went to Cincinnati? Come on. He went to Cincinnati looking like Tyrann Mathieu. Come on now.
Now you going
Bengals making the change.
Stop. First of all, Eli Apple was never on the level of Tyrann Mathieu.
But when he went to Cincinnati,
Tyrann Mathieu game suffered because of an injury, a knee injury.
Oh yeah,
not because he stunk.
No, it looked nasty too. He was done.
Eli Apple.
He grabbed his head. So he knew.
Here, he'll be back next week.
I don't know. Them concussions be hurting, man. You see how big number 90 was?
Malik,
number 90 knee you in the head like
Malik,
that. Hell,
it's for the Super Bowl, bro.
Look,
he'll be back.
You need to be back if you're going to get Joe Burrow because he saw what Joe Burrow did to him last time.
No, but see the difference for them, it's not even about Joe Burrow. It's about Joe Mixon, if they're smart. If they come in thinking Joe Burrow is going to outgun, no, you have to strategically plan how to beat Kansas City. You don't just walk into Kansas City saying they're going to score 45, we're going to score 48. That's not how you win in that building.
What you mean that's what happened last time?
No.
We beat them 34-31.
Well, once again, you keep talking about a regular season game that wasn't at Arrowhead. Once again, we went through this with the Buffalo Bills. We smacked them around. We got the number one defense. Once again, you're talking about a regular season game, right? Come on, man. Look, Lucky Lefty podcast. What did we miss? But shout out to the toughness of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simons was killing him.
This is the one thing I will say. Spagnolia loves to come after the quarterback. And that offensive line in Cincinnati has been rough all year.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just worried about Joey B is not yet as mobile as we're used to seeing him coming back off that knee injury.
Right.
So that's something I'll be looking to watch and interested whether or not Spags comes at him from the first snap of the game. The key matchup, I'm not even worried. Jamar's going to put up his numbers, man.
Especially this week because they play a lot of blitz.
Yeah, Jamar's going to put up his numbers. Right? That ain't dude. The issue is stopping Azuma, T. Higgins.
Azuma's my key.
Right.
Azuma because
that's who he looks to. That's his release on the blitz.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the tight end.
Straight up.
So it's about mixing up your coverages, mixing up your looks. And that's the one thing I was upset with Spags about in that fourth quarter, dude. You just lined up and told Josh Allen you were man to man. Like
basically.
It's 4th and 13.
We've seen that before, though, against the Bengals. His ass 3rd and 23.
Right.
And sends an all-out blitz and we score.
Right. For what?
Stupid.
It's stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Coaching, man. Coaching is vitally important. Whether you talk about the Blake Bell on the 6-yard line or you talk about not squib kicking with 13 seconds left, it's coaching that leads to the perfect imperfection of NFL games. The NFL won this weekend.
As much as they tried to rig it, they made it look really good.
The NFL absolutely won this weekend. You know, I'm a college football fan. That's my number one sport. But the NFL absolutely won. And the fact that the promos for the halftime show at the Super Bowl was super dope.
Oh, yeah.
Super
I think
dope.
That's going to be
we have to do our list again.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, it was early on. We have to do it again. We have to do our top 10 songs that you won't hear at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that list can go on forever.
Yeah.
They still playing Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff.
The top 10 songs from the artists performing at the Super Bowl that you won't hear them perform at the Super Bowl because it's a family show. We're going to do that top 10 list as we get closer to the Super Bowl.
Eminem only may have one song.
That he can't do?
That he can do.
Eminem has a lot of songs he can
do.
Oh, that he can do. Let's get into some Notre Dame football, man. Great weekend in the NFL. And the players that returned, that came back for 5th years or decided not to enter their names to the NFL draft, had an opportunity to sit down with the media in South Bend. So let's set this up because there was a lot of talk about national championship amongst the returning players, which kind of was shocking to me. because we've been talking about maybe 2023, 2024. We load up on a couple of recruiting classes that are top notch, and we're ready
this
to
is
roll.
our hardest schedule by far.
Absolutely.
In the last 8-9 years. So.
But the players that came back and the players that transferred in, like a Brandon Joseph, no, they're not feeling that. And the standard was set immediately after the loss to Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl, when Marcus Freeman said this.
I thought the kids prepared tremendously. I thought the coaching staff did a great job, but at the end of the day, we didn't execute when it mattered most. But these guys, man, it's a special group. And for those that aren't coming back, they're going to be greatly missed. But more than anything, there's a group I think that's, one, disappointed, but two, motivated to right what happened today and to start the progression for the future. As I told them 28 days ago, this is about right now. This was about finishing this season off the right way. Well, it didn't happen, and it's okay. All we can do now is start focusing on what we'll do as we move forward to make sure that we're successful the next time we're on the field. Did a good job at, getting into some 10 personnel, which they really hadn't shown much all year, and it was good. And they made some good second half adjustments offensively and defensively to stop what we were doing offensively and to kind of exploit some things defensively. So they did a good job, and you got to give them credit where credit's due. But for me, obviously, as the leader of this program, it's a pit in your stomach, as I told the group a minute ago, that you want to bottle it up and you want to remember how this feels. And the honeymoon stage is over, right? The whole, hey, new head coach, it's a great story. No, it's about having a great product, and it's about having a great team. And so we have to make sure that it's about developing this team for next year, right? This year's over. So everything we do from now moving forward is going to be development and making sure that we're prepared to have success.
The moment he threw down that gauntlet, he said, it's a wrap. We're done talking about Brian Kelly. We're done talking about me being the new coach, the honeymoon, all of that stuff. It's time for us to become that team.
And that's the message you want to hear. I think it kind of fits to why you wanted a guy like Marcus Freeman at this point in the Notre Dame football transition, because you need a spark. You need a guy that sounds believable, because you're so used to the consistent 12-year message of your former coach. He's the right transition to get the team to believe. I think if they had any other hire, especially it not being in-house, you would see a lot more guys leaving. I think Foskey would leave. I think you see some of the guys that came back would transfer, because having a guy that's not in-house, now you're dealing with a whole other array of issues. So Marcus Freeman, you talk about the right time, being at the right place at the right time.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't have did it any sweeter, because if this was just a normal season and Kelly left after the bowl game or something, who knows where they would have looked in the coaching hire. So with all those things falling in place, it's only right that it feels right to the kids that they are so on board, because they can see where Marcus Freeman really wants to take it. The kids believe in it, even in the loss. Usually after our big disappointing losses in bowl games, you get a whole bunch of array of stuff. Oh, we know who's leaving and coming. We don't know how we're going to look next year. Coach Perry gave a terrible post-game interview, which didn't leave none of us encouraged for the next year. But with Marcus Freeman, he's just telling you, look, we're closing the book. We're focused on how we're going to get better each day. The right now, 12 years ago, we're looking to do it big. So I think that's the best thing for those guys to hear. And then we're seeing how it reflects on their attitudes. They went from crying and apologizing. Now they talking about they're going to win the whole thing. So something's got to be going on up there in South Bend. And
not only did he say that, he also alluded to the fact that the product that existed then wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
He pointed that out. Don't miss that.
You have to acknowledge that. That wasn't what was going to get us to why I'm here and where we're trying to go.
Yep.
We can placate and say, oh, we had it good.
Right.
But that wasn't good enough. And I'm glad that he said it so that we all can say it and know it, and that we don't have to have fans be like, I wish this was last year's guy. I wish this was. No, that wasn't good enough.
Right.
Let's be honest about it. It was great.
Right.
But it wasn't good enough.
No.
And so we can appreciate it for what it was. Yeah, we had a lot of great NFL players, a lot of great games won, seasons, but that product is just not what we want to be now.
So you talked about Isaiah Foskey. He talked about the main reason he came back and chose to stay at Notre Dame.
The main thing was I just believe in Coach Freeman, and I just believe in the whole team. Like, we can actually win a national championship, and I believe that we can actually do that. And the best thing, just best of both worlds, I can come back, develop as a defensive player, not just as a pass rusher, but as an all-around defensive player. But I feel like this team could really win a national championship. That's the main reason why I came back.
And then did he have to fit you much on that?
Not really. He mentioned it. He mentioned that this is going to be a team that can really win a national championship under him. But I already knew what our potentials could be and what it will be at the end of the season.
He told you the first sentence. Marcus Freeman is the reason why I came back.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And Marcus Freeman probably told me, like, look, I know you want to leave, but I can take you somewhere where you're going to be on another level. You come back and look what we got. We're gonna do it big. I told
him like the Temptations, I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Yeah. He said, I know you want to go, but you're not going, man. You're not
going nowhere.
Come on, trust your boy. Trust a Daytonian. He ain't gonna lead you astray, baby. And it's all it took was just the belief and the confidence from the coach.
Yeah.
He's in there talking like, I think we can win it all.
Yeah.
This the team we just lost to Oklahoma State. Talk about we finna win it all. And they all saw that championship game and how that championship game intensity and the way they played was not the Fiesta Bowl.
No. So coming out of that Fiesta Bowl, you're not saying to yourself, man, we need to get better so we can beat somebody in the Fiesta Bowl or beat a team like Oklahoma State. No. That book is closed. That mentality is closed. That's what he was saying in that press conference. Like, that mentality of just winning a type game like this, beating a team like Oklahoma State, nah.
We should feel disrespected playing Oklahoma State.
We should feel disrespected to even be in this game. Thank you.
Alabama, they feel disrespected not being in the playoffs. Like that's
why they played the way they played in the SEC championship game, because they knew if they lost that game,
nobody was going to feel bad for them.
Right.
And that's what I love about Alabama. Alabama is really on a championship or bust mentality.
Right.
They're not looking to say, oh, we might get a New Year's 6. They're like, New Year's 6? we enroll in school till January around here. So
right.
if we change into that, where we're like, oh, Fiesta, what? We trying to throw a Fiesta at the playoffs.
Right.
Not throw a Fiesta and have a great, participation trophy at the end. Everybody gets the little brown trophy and some cakes and cookies. We want to have the confetti raining. I've never seen no blue and gold confetti. I done seen a lot of red, crimson, and white, and scarlet and gray, and all type of orange and purple. I ain't seen no gold and blue. So I'm looking for confetti, gold, and blue this year.
There are literally classes. I think the last class, the Mac Jones class, went to the college football playoff every year.
Every year. Oh, my goodness.
They don't know anything else but the college football playoff.
Now, that's the standard. What do you think, Mac Jones will go back to school and be like, man, when I was here, we was always in it.
So that's the same way these Miami players now that go back to the University of Miami look at these cats like, man, y'all don't deserve to wear that U.
Oh, no, not at all.
You haven't put the requisite work in.
Even the
Rock
throwing
up to you like that.
Even the Rock goes down there and be like, y'all don't deserve it.
Right.
I'm in the movies.
Right.
I'm shooting movies with Kevin Hart, and I don't think y'all deserve to wear that U.
Right. So, transfer in Brandon Joseph at the safety position, which, wasn't the biggest issue in the defensive backfield in that game, but definitely an upgrade. Great player, all Big Ten, 2 years in a row. He talked about why he chose to come to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I came to Notre Dame to maximize my potential. I think joining a defense, an elite defense like this, having a piece like me that is they're returning 18 starters and losing a guy like Kyle. So I think a guy like me stepping in and filling in the piece of the puzzle is exactly what we need to take this place to the next level.
Now, I don't know if he was trying to kind of like equal himself to Kyle.
That's what I was saying. I said, you don't have to say 14. Just say there was a guy that left, and I'm here to fill. Because now you talking top. You a top 5 player?
Now, I love the fact that he believes in his talent like that.
Listen,
but
I don't think Marcus Freeman recruited you and said, hey, you're the fill-in for Kyle Hamilton. I think it was, hey, we got a spot open for a defense that's going to be really good that we want you to fill, and we think you can be good at it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he said, look, Kyle's out, you in. I don't think he was one of them things. I think
he said Marcus Freeman was like one of the first guys to call him and pretty much told him, like, yo, before the guys decided to come back, Marcus Freeman's pitch is we have pretty much the entire defense returning. This is what he told them before Foskey and the guys said they were coming back. So he's telling Brandon Joseph.
Marcus Freeman knew he was getting Foskey back.
Right. He's telling Brandon Joseph, like, yo, we got guys returning. The defense is going to be sick. You come down here, better exposure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's be honest. He came because it was a better situation for him. Northwestern wasn't going to give him what he could get here. This is right. It's the same thing for Jack Cohn. Jack Cohn knew he was coming.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm coming to upgrade myself.
Right.
Now hopefully I can upgrade the team. And
Jack Cohn might actually make an NFL roster now.
Yeah, he's going to be on the roster. Jack Cohn's going to be on somebody's roster that you're going to look 3 years from now. He's going to get in San Francisco game randomly. He could be like, damn, is that the Cohn from Notre Dame? That's how it always happens.
Right. He also
on a Monday night playing the Steelers or something. You're gonna see Jack Cohn waddle in the game. You're like, how the hell?
The starter's gonna have COVID. Yeah. The backup's gonna get injured, and here comes Jack Cohn off the bench. For that,
they're gonna say, hey, they might even say Notre Dame grad. They might even mention Wisconsin.
Right. Lucky Lefty podcast. We're talking about the expectations that Notre Dame players that decided to come back have for the season. They're talking national championship, and Brandon Joseph talked about those expectations.
The expectations are there because of my past, and I mean, I put them on myself too. I expect to be one of the best players in the country, and to join a team like Notre Dame, I think that's how I'm going to be able to maximize on that. And so I hold myself to as high as a standard as all the talk and coming in working with Matt Bayless and walking into all the different things I need to improve for myself is how I think I can develop to be the best version of myself.
I think he was a player that developed on a team that wasn't going anywhere and ended up being the best player on the team, you know what I mean? And now he's actually playing in the big leagues kind of thing. Not saying the Northwestern's not big leagues, but he clearly understands that there's a level that he can get better with at Notre Dame, which is what we would hope for when you're looking at transfer portals, is that a guy that can elevate us. And I think Brandon Joseph was the best transfer safety out there in the portal and the best guy to help us for what we need. His availability is just, right time, right place. I don't think we were going to recruit a safety that's as good as he is right now for next year. So that's a good position to have in that way. But the defense, what you're saying, returning 18 starters, guys that are only going to get better. And then he's not even mentioning the guys he's bringing in, because I think the guys he's bringing in are going to compete with the 18 guys that are returning.
Man, facts, especially linebackers.
especially linebackers. So we don't know who's going to be those 18.
We've already heard from people inside the program that the linebackers in workouts look absolutely insane.
Yeah, because Marcus Freeman probably down there working out with him.
Dude, cats that are there are talking about how Jalen Sneed looks, just athletically.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and Prince Collie and Maris and all them boys.
Let's switch it up a little bit, right? Because we talked about the defensive players. Let's go to the offensive side, because Braden Lindsey and Avery Davis were two guys that decided to come back on the offensive side of the ball. Now, I want you to listen to both of their takes on Tyler Buckman and tell me how it makes you feel. Let's go ahead and start with Avery Davis And when he was asked about his thoughts on Tyler Buckman and the promise he has for the upcoming season.
Over just like from his freshman year, I think we all see his potential and like the ability that he could produce in the game and the things that he could do, the plays that he could make. And I've seen like more so than you have, like in practices where you see like the true, we compete every single day. And like, so you see him in every single situation, some of the things, and he's very, very talented and he has a tremendous amount of upside. And I think the competition will bring even more out of him, like from this spring. So going into the season, whoever wins the job, I think is going to be the right guy. So.
Now it's funny to say all of that and to end it with whomever wins the job.
Yeah,
they didn't ask you about your time, my dude. Nobody
after that interview, I'm like, hey, holla at your boy real quick, Avery. Like, let me just talk to you off the camera because what is that? What is that? First of all, the man said, the classic, which we've talked about on this show,
right.
This whole potential thing. What a man could be. We've seen some things. That's not, listen, we're trying to win against Ohio State first game. You talking about he's got some potential. I can see some. No. Do you think that people went into practice with Trevor Lawrence saying, I could see him kind of being nice? Or was he in there like, oh, that's our guy? If we don't have, oh, that's our guy, and then you end it with whoever wins, what are we talking about? Because who was the other guy we're competing with? Don't tell me it's Drew Palmer. Don't tell me whoever wins is including Ron Paulus and Drew Palmer. Because that's not giving me no confidence. We need to jump in that portal. Keaton Slovis was definitely a call we should have been on then. If that's the case. Right. Caleb should have been called. If that's especially if you better go to a rival school. Like, come on, we gotta. This quarterback situation is very important for the success of our season. And if a guy that's returning, now he chose to return. Now, if you're talking about the potential of guys and you hope the best guy wins, what are you returning for? Because it sounds like they're not going to get you to rock.
Yeah.
To me. But we'll see what happens.
Let's get these 2 super chats out of the way. Jay Clampin Investments, as always, thank you for tapping in with us. Shaun, tell me who won the 1988 Slam Dunk Contest in Chicago. Don't lie either. What's your point? Michael Jordan won the contest. That's who's on the trophy.
Oh, he said Dominique got robbed.
That's like saying we got robbed against USC, so we really won the game. No, we lost.
We lost.
Like, man, what kind of mentality is that? We lost. We got robbed. Whatever, dude. How many championships does Dominique have? None. Nobody give a darn about no dunk contest. Man, I hope this isn't going back to the Mahomes thing. I can't hear that, dude. That's a bad analogy, man. Find another. That one was a bad analogy. And Demetrius Rex. When are my Browns going to win a playoff game? My brother.
Y'all got to stop faking the funk. Y'all think Baker Mayfield is the guy, and he's not the guy.
Hey, keep it real, though. They had the opportunity to get Josh Allen. Josh Allen, hey, bro, you got to admit he's better than Baker. You at least have to admit that.
I guess.
Man, you so disrespectful. You going on a Baker.
Wait a minute. We forgot that Baker Mayfield. Wait a minute. We forgot Baker Mayfield played Patrick in the AFC last year. Remember?
And what happened?
They lost, but shit. Josh Allen stayed losing. So if I had to go back and what game was a better game, I'm taking the Browns versus the Chiefs than the Bills versus the Chiefs. Baker blew it, but he had a better shot than Josh. Josh did everything. Think about this. Josh did everything perfect and still lost. That just shows you that he's not the guy.
Yep.
Baker blew the opportunity to beat Patrick Mahomes. Not that he didn't even play that great. But if he played like Josh Allen played, the Browns would have won that game.
I agree. All I know is my boy P checking off names. Let's see. Beat Deshaun Watson. Check.
Okay.
Beat Josh Allen. Check.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow. We'll see.
Hold on, Lamar got
I expect the check. Well, he hasn't played Lamar in the playoffs.
Oh, not in the playoffs. Okay.
So he's gonna have to get him too. He's just running down, he bangs up on Justin Herbert twice a year.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
So check.
Justin's nice now. I like Justin better than Josh.
Huh?
I like Justin Herbert better than Josh.
Oh, I would take. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I would probably take. Listen, wait a minute. Let me finish because I know you're about to make faces, dude. Let me finish. If I was playing in Buffalo, if I was playing in a cold weather city, I would take Josh Allen's physicality over Justin Herbert. See, that's why as a GM, you have to know where you play half of your games. So if I'm playing in a cold weather city, I'll probably lean to Josh Allen. But if I'm playing in like LA, Vegas, Florida, Texas, I'm taking Justin Herbert in a heartbeat. It's not even close. His nuance for the passing game is better than Josh Allen.
Yes. Josh Allen's just a big brute.
Because of his physicality, people have to go to man a lot more, which opens up his ability to pass. And I'll give him credit because he's become more efficient in the passing game. I think he increased his completion percentage almost by like 8 percentage points, which is unheard of.
Yeah, I mean,
that usually doesn't happen in the NFL. So I give him credit for the work he's put in. That lets you know that he's not afraid to work. Because he's a much better quarterback than he was 2 years ago. Even if you don't like him,
when he was MVP year.
Say it again.
They were trying to give him the MVP when Lamar clearly won it.
No,
he was better then.
Nah. All I'm saying is, and we're gonna keep going right quick, for all of those people that wanted to bring up Stetson Bennett and said, see, Notre Dame can win with a Stetson Bennett at quarterback, the NFL showed you why.
Yeah.
That type of team is an anomaly.
Yeah.
And you don't want to model your team after that.
Because the playoffs come down every time to who's the better quarterback.
And we need dudes.
Every time. And
I want you to listen to Braden Lindsey. Since we're talking quarterbacks, listen to Braden Lindsey talking about Tyler Buckman.
He's definitely got confidence on the field. I think that's the biggest indicator of a good player when they're young. He's definitely the best runner I've had as a quarterback in college. And I think, it wasn't showcased as well, but he's got a good arm. And I think as time goes on, he'll be able to make more smarter decisions as a passer. And that kind of comes to just experience. I mean, quarterback's the hardest position. There's a lot going on. So I think he's going to, improve vastly.
I'm not getting a lot of confidence from these wide receivers about Tyler Buckner, bro.
Why are they? First of all,
what
the elephant in the room is the passing.
Right.
Both of these guys waited to the end to mention that. He talking about he's the best runner and he got confidence. That ain't winning nothing. He might as well just said, yeah, I mean, he's the best running back in the room, and his confidence to run the ball is great. And then he was like, well, in the past, it'll come along.
No, we need that pass to show up like right now.
If they not coming into the interview, be like, man, did you see these throws he's making? I can't wait to get 1,000 yards this season. Like,
now, Avery Davis did allude to certain throws that he's seen him make in the passing game in practice.
You see how he says seen and not caught? He didn't catch him. He seen him throw it.
Oh man, like I seen him make plays, but it's just not me.
Yeah, just not to me. So I don't. And then he ended it talking about a quarterback competition, which is the last thing I want to hear.
Yeah, that just sent me off because he was building me up, and I'm like, okay, Tyler Buckner's looking good in practice. Like, okay, that's what I like to hear. What? Whomever wins the competition.
Oh, because you're taking reps from other guys too. Okay, so we don't have a distinct guy clearly, and then you got Braden Lindsey, who just doesn't seem like he don't know. He just like, oh, well, experience is going to come against Ohio State, and he's going to throw better eventually. Like, no.
I almost
My
said
thing is,
something.
what did Tommy tell? Maybe they didn't even talk. Maybe Tommy didn't talk to Brady Lindsey. Lindsey just decided he was coming back because, if anything, I'm sure you heard Brandon Joseph say, "Yeah, Marcus Freeman said we gonna have top defense. We're gonna do it."
Yeah.
You getting answers from the receivers like they ain't never talked to Tommy or never talked to nobody on the offense. They all like, well, I don't know. We just gonna see. They gonna get better. And,
Right. Defense is like, yeah, we rock.
Like, yeah, we about to win a national championship. We
Right.
got the 18 guys. Brandon Joseph, boom. I'm here. Offense is like, well, shit. I hope though the best man win. What you?
Yo, the Disconnect Lucky Lefty podcast, man. The one thing you wanted to hear from these players is like, yo, Tyler Buckner, like he can be that dude. Brady Lindsey, Avery Davis.
Guys, though. These are our go-to, we didn't get no transfers. We got Brady Lindsey coming back, Avery Davis coming off injury.
Well, I'll say this. If you ask Lorenzo Styles that question, you get a totally different answer.
I need to hear that this
number one, I know you do, but number one, I know you do, but number one, that's his roommate, that's his boy, and Lorenzo Styles figures to be the most targeted wide receiver next year coming into the season.
I'm upset though that Brandon Lindsey mentioned the man's confidence before anything physical on the skill level.
He said, well, he's confident. That's kind of like saying, well, she has a really good personality.
Yeah. She
man, how's old girl look? She got a real nice personality.
She's smart, man. She is smart. Person. Like, now listen, confidence is 100% matters when it comes to a quarterback's play.
But you saw that at Elite 11, though.
I told you that. Yeah, I told you that. I said the man confident. However, you gotta put the talent with the confidence.
Yeah.
When your receivers are in the media saying, yeah, you'll make smarter decisions the more chances you get throwing it. That's not complimentary of, oh man, I'm excited to be with this guy. We've been after practice every day, or we've been talking a lot, or we watch film on our own, or no stories of them, doing anything other than both of those guys referring to practice. So that means they probably haven't talked to Tyler since the game.
Yeah.
Because they talk about practice. In January, it's a whole new semester. They talk about what they saw in them 24 practices. You know what I'm saying? So that's not making me confident that there's enough, like you said, connection on the offensive side of football. Because if you ain't talking to the dudes that's throwing to you, or at least telling them, like, look, I know we ain't seen the best of us yet, but don't go into this interview talking about you don't know and, help me out. Let's be on the same accord, because now you're going to have people like the Lucky Lefty podcast being like, what was that? Is anybody talking to each other?
Joe A says, let Tyler get out on the field and we will see what he can do. That is the only way we will know. We can all speculate all we want, but performance on the field will be the only answer. He's been performing in front of them. They're talking about his performance in front of them. This ain't speculation. This is the media asking them about a guy that they practiced with all season and during the bowl prep. And the only thing they can say, the big Brady Lindsey had the at the beginning.
Yeah, shit. I mean, the man confident. This is a 5-star quarterback we talking about. This is the quarterback we supposed to roll out there versus Ohio State, and we got his own receivers. I wonder what Ohio State receivers are saying about C.J. Stroud.
Well, that's not fair to Tyler, though. That's not fair to Tyler.
It may not be.
What were they saying? You probably would have to go back to like last spring and watch the interview.
But I'm just saying how, if we put aside obviously the work they've put in already, I guarantee you, just on a personal level, they would have something else to say. They wouldn't just be like, yeah, the man confident, we'll see what happens. Yeah. They'd be like, oh yeah, CJ, we went through this together. We do all this stuff preparing for these moments. Right. I'm excited to see what's on the horizon. We'll do. I'm not getting a personal connection. Not that he necessarily needs one, but a personal connection enough between quarterback receiver.
Right.
Well, guys these are not just freshmen that just showed up yesterday. These are fifth-year guys. And for one of the fifth-year guys that's returned to say he's definitely the best quarterback I've had being here. Well, damn, that means that he can't throw better than Ian. He can't throw better than Jack. He can't throw better than Drew. He's just the best running back. And you a receiver saying that. So that means you acknowledge you not getting the football or something.
I just found it strange. It very strange that both wide receivers had up and down comments when it came to Tyler Buckman. Now
the defense don't talk like that.
No,
I'm like, it's the same team.
The defense and the way they're talking and the offense and the way they're talking is like, it's totally different. Now,
it's totally different.
Jared Patterson decided to come back at center. One of the reasons he said he decided to come back was, look, I saw the rest of the guys were coming back, and when I talked to other linemen that came back for the fifth year at Notre Dame, they talked about how much better they got as a player and how it prepared them for the NFL. But he also, in my opinion, was in the business of throwing a little shade when he looked at or was asked about his expectations for the offensive line next year.
Yeah, I think with this group, we lost Kane, who's a great guy, but we have, a lot of experience coming back. Blake, Joe, Mike, Zeke, Andrew, all those guys, Josh, all those guys come back with experience. It's not a young group anymore. These guys have been able to play, some big time games. So we're gonna be counting on them. They're going to start, mature, being leaders, things like that. So it's exciting to have all those guys and really just build another year, bonding with them on and off the field.
First of all, dude, the shade that came mad, I love it.
Kane's a good guy. But we got a lot of guys coming back with experience.
We lose Kane Madden. He's a nice guy. Like, he's trash, bro. You knew who you played next to all year. Jared Patterson is shady, man.
Absolutely. He had to. It's crazy because it was on his mind thinking about Kane and how he wasn't showing up, to the fact that he had to put it out there early and be like, that's a good guy, though.
Right.
He got a good personality. Don't be on him too much. But the other guys, they grow up. We ready to go.
Yo, and get rid of that young moniker, because if it wasn't for those youngsters, the season might have gone off the rip.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
The youngsters came in and ball. Joe,
Blake ball, first game ball.
Blake, when he came back off injury, it's like, look, the youngsters are the best thing about the offensive line.
The best,
especially on the day today where Notre Dame officially announces that Harry Heastand is the offensive line coach. Like, that's the best thing about the offensive line. It's not you, Jared Patterson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's definitely not you.
It's not you.
You play a part
because in my opinion, I expected more from you, Mr. Preseason All-American. I expected more push in the middle of the offensive line from you. Yeah. I expected more leadership from you. I didn't expect penalties in the Fiesta Bowl from you.
Yeah, you a senior.
So forget the young guys. I have more faith and trust in the young guys that they're going to develop. And the way they played, under a lesser offensive line coach, now that they have a supreme offensive line coach teaching them. That's what my confidence is.
He just better hope he improves and not stay the same.
Man,
being a fifth-year guy, because we know them young guys gonna make a huge jump with Heastand in one offseason.
I feel the same way.
And that young thing is out the window already, because the amount of experience they've gotten through the season, they're not young no more. They're better than average. They were average during the season. They're better than average at the end of the season. And now we on the transition to being that solid offensive line with the coach that we got with Harry, and those guys being ready. I mean, towards the end of the season, I wasn't even thinking young. They just looking to get better.
Right.
They just think that's getting better.
That's it.
Young, to me, young is saying, like, you're having guys miss assignments, crazy penalties, getting just totally beat because they're smaller. That wasn't the case. We were just like, okay, we got to make these technique blocks to get bigger push.
Right.
But Jack had time all season. Maybe not the time where we can cook barbecue and all type of stuff that we used to, but he had time.
He had plenty of time in the Fiesta Bowl. I know that.
68 passes with a young offensive line and a Kane. Come on, a good guy named Kane.
Man, a good guy. Lucky Lefty podcast. Jared Patterson was wrong for that one. Ty B, thank you for tapping in. Braden and Avery sound like BK Real T. Yeah, they copping pleas and making excuses before the season.
Big excuses. You got Ohio State. Y'all talking about, yeah, we gonna get better through experience. How are we so disconnected from the defensive side and the offensive side? Every time we play a defensive interview or something, you would have thought we were about to be remember the Titans. And then you even talking to Marcus Freeman, I'm like, oh, that's Denzel Washington right there. We finna win. And then you go to offense and be like, shit, I ain't heard from Tommy. Shit, last time Tommy talked to somebody, he talking to Keaton Slovis at Pittsburgh.
Well, you know what? On the recruiting trail, though, you're hearing a lot of good things about Tommy and relationships. So, hey, if he hasn't talked to his guys, it's because he's putting in work on the recruiting trail. Tom Ballort, how big of a meltdown will there be if Pine Best out Buckman?
It would be a shame because we know what we're getting with Drew. You know, I'm not saying that we're not going to win, but we talking all of this is reference to being one game better. Is if our defense is like Georgia's, then Drew Pine's fine. But we are excited about our defense, but we haven't seen it yet.
Right. And we talked about last week, we talked about the improvement, especially in the run defense from that, you know, it's a lot of guys returning on the defensive line, but they have to get better, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's a process that of us improving.
Yeah.
We're not Georgia yet, or that level yet.
Yeah.
So we can't say like, oh well, you know, are we gonna have the same production? I do think though that defensively we're gonna be a top 10 defense, but even a top 10 defense is not good enough with the quarterback production that we're going in between with. That's not gonna get it done either.
Can't give up 113 and 130 yards on the ground in the last 2 years. You can't do that. You can't have a repeat of that. You just can't. That's a rush defense. John Clement, coffee was weak and cold. Man, where'd you go? Starbucks? Like, who messed up the order? Kids ate all the bacon. LL just told me that TV may not be the guy. Great morning. First of all, we didn't tell you that.
We did not tell you that.
We did not tell you that. we play video of the wide receivers answering questions about Tyler Buckman. Lucky Lefty to tell you a thing. Next thing you know, we on a message board like, yo, Lucky Lefty told us that Tyler Buckman is trash.
We did not.
We didn't say that.
We
are simply saying is the wide receivers they're not good salesmen right now. They're just not.
The wide receivers did not, they almost threw him under the bus. They almost threw our guy under the bus because it don't for this guy to be the guy that's supposed to lead the charge, and we done had a quarterback competition comment thrown in there. We done had every intangible except something on a physical skill level mentioned.
Right.
We done had, I've seen it, but I haven't experienced it. You know, like it's a lot to make up in this 9 months, it seems like, because now to me, it seems like the gap between Jack and Tyler was even bigger.
Yeah.
Like they almost was forcing Tyler to play, but Jack was the guy that they was really leaning on the whole time.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is different than what we talk about, because we thought Tyler should have been in there the whole time, but they knew what they was doing when they got Jack.
Michael Parks, thanks for tagging in. Jesus Christ, Drew Pine is going to be the starter in the horseshoe, shaking my head. Yo, look, it shocked us when we heard it. It was like, yo, this is not what you want to hear coming from you guys when they're asked about a guy that's supposed to be the next great quarterback that leads Notre Dame to a national championship.
And the only thing that's going to change my mind, even if this stays the same with the quarterback, is if Tommy is Kyle Shanahan and calls elite plays. I mean, That's the only way to level it out, because at this point, I don't think we can do much to get another quarterback. So developing a guy that we have never been known for developing QBs on time or enough, it's a bigger question than anything on the defensive side. At least in recruiting, we see the defense going up. We got the transfer portal popping. Marcus Freeman, saying all the right things. So it's just interesting because the only point of contact on the offensive side is Tommy.
Yeah.
We ain't hear from Chancey yet. We know he's stand. So the only person that can give us any clue is Tommy, which goes back to why I think we need a quarterback coach.
Got a question, Bronx ND fan. Thanks for tagging in. Malik, we don't know what opportunities he had in practice under BK. And this is coming from you, Mr. MJB hater.
Who's MJB? Who's MJB?
Mary J. Blige.
Now, she put on a hell of an episode of Power last week.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Because Diana was definitely on the petty train. But we know the opportunities he got in practice. It wasn't very many. And when he did, they made him do things that primed his hamstring to hurt when he got into the game. And it showed. Like, you're not hurting your hamstring as a backup unless they got you running ridiculously in practice all week, on and off. And you're not expecting to go into the game doing that. So, whatever. But I do think that with BK being gone, there's no excuse for Tyler not having the opportunities to get better.
Yeah.
At least we know he's going to be taking the reps. So if he's not making those reps count, then damn.
Chief Brody, I wanted Keaton Slovis. Man, everyone said ride with Buckman. Fact is, he ain't ready to win in the shoe, and it stands as it stands, and that's obvious.
Well, Keaton's not ready either. So that's not the answer either. But you got 9 months to develop one guy. I'm saying right now, right here, we should not have no competition if we're serious about beating Ohio State. Or even the season for that matter.
Yeah.
That's the last. We talk about closing the book. We need to close the book on that quarterback competition shit, because none of these other teams do that are actually winning. Alabama had the toughest quarterback competition. All three are starters in the league. So, if anything, take a page from their book. All three of them played. All three of them went to championships. All three of them starting the league. And for us to have the indecision of two guys that can't get it done either way, at least put all your eggs in one basket. At least we can get the most we can squeeze the most out of one instead of having a half full cup of orange juice.
Right.
You got a half here. Just get all in one. And tell Drew, be like, look, we want Tyler. Now, if you happen to come out here and kick ass to where we have to put you in, then we'll go with you. But your best job for the team is help get Tyler ready. Like, you're gonna pop up on the roster somewhere in the league as a backup. They're gonna give you a chance. You're gonna be like what's the dude from Washington, number 4, that got hurt.
From you talking about in college?
No, NFL.
Heineke.
He's like a Taylor Heineke. You're gonna pop up in the league somewhere in the future, but right now, get my man right. If you gotta tell him how to do a protection or work with him after practice, get him right, because we gotta develop the quarterback. Either it's gonna be Tommy or it's gonna be the guys in the room that are more experienced. But other than that, I'm like, look, Drew, you just in the way. If you're making it hard for these coaches to decide, you in the way.
Christopher Galloway, could all of these interviews be a smokescreen for Ohio State?
Man, the way them boys is looking at that camera, they were searching for an answer to say something good about that.
They're like, man, you caught me off guard with that one.
Yeah, he said, shit, you saw Brady Lindsey said, I mean, shit,
I got Eugene Williams say he's laughing at us, bro. It wasn't me like Shaggy.
It wasn't.
We did not say
the ones that were proponents of starting the kid last year.
Because
now we a year ahead with no better no better
Yeah.
reviews on the kid. So that's
Yeah.
not.
Jim Aguilar says Patterson didn't mention Fisher, so he must not be confident in him, just like the wide receiver Buckman. No, he did mention Fisher. He said the name Blake.
Yeah, Blake. Yeah.
He said Blake, and he was talking about Fisher.
See, they got good friendship. They said first name.
Right.
Blake, my dog.
I got Rob Tidoff. What's good, man? Always try to stay positive about my Irish, but I see 9-3 this year. Losses to Ohio State, Clemson, and USC. The first one I might ride with you. The last two, USC is not ready. Like, people need to relax, man. I know they got.
They ain't got no defense. I ain't seen one defensive transfer, one defensive pickup. So
the bones of that roster is suspect in the trenches. That's the last team. Notre Dame is probably going to push USC around.
Yeah, the first year for sure. Because we got Houston. So
let's see. There's a lot in here, bro. I might have to come back to it. There's a lot in here. I might have to come back to it, man. It's such a special show. I might have to come back to it, dude. It's such a special show. But you know what time it is, bro.
Yeah. Oh, gotta get my theme song going.
I'm bugging. Wait a minute. Please don't tell me I deleted this, dude.
No way.
Oh, there we go. I was bugging for a minute.
Petticoat Junction. It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's pettiest story? Petty Junction.
That's right, each and every day. Petty Junction, pettiest story of the weekend for today. And also, stick around. Big announcement. This might actually be the greatest week of content on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Big announcement coming up, and we'll get to the rest of your questions. Petty Train, brought to you and featuring Anora Whiskey. Go to AnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey at AnoraWhiskey.com. I don't know if you guys, LL Nation, if you watch Power. But Diana has to go on the petty train.
The biggest pettiest train.
And now, I was cool with her Diamond Kane now.
Yeah, because Kane played it cool. He was like, yeah, I did it.
Right.
And I should be your right hand man.
I was cool with it, but Kane was shady. And they were shady the way they came at her. Like, dude, Diana's in college, man. If she Tariq want to do the, okay.
Look, if she want to go to support the man trial, it's right. All right.
That's all. And it was part of y'all plan. Y'all, you acting like you didn't know. Like, come on.
They all knew. They
all knew.
So Diana, like, wait a minute.
But Diana, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you feel. That's how we gonna play.
She dropped the bomb. She didn't drop a dime. She dropped the bomb.
And it was even pettier. She pulled out the birth certificate.
Now,
that was kinda, look, fool, that ain't your aunt.
A typical Zeke with the dumb Zeke face.
How you 5 years over the eligibility and don't know?
My man was 5 and somebody told him he was 1. And he believed him.
The writing get ridiculous now.
Man.
They lied to the man for 5. NCAA, nobody found out.
Yo. I have to put Odell Beckham Jr. once again. Continues to show just how trash Baker Mayfield is. Like, it comes out. Matthew Stafford isn't like Tom Brady level, but he's better than Baker Mayfield. And everybody thought Odell Beckham Jr. was washed up. He goes to the Rams and just makes plays, and now he's in the NFC Championship game. You and your dad, OBJ, you're shady.
Yeah.
You guys are mad shady. We're not saying you were wrong.
We ain't saying he was wrong.
But you real petty.
To get out that
Real
situation.
This is for Chicago fans. I got to put Chicago fan bases, the Chicago Bears fan base on the petty train. But this is mad corny to me, bro. I don't know how you feel about this. I'm not rooting for the 49ers because they're playing the Packers because my team sucks. And that's my
that's
life.
just corny. That's
just mad corny to me, dude.
That's like being happy for a conference opponent or something. Like,
not
no.
tweeting out Niners gang. Like, what are you doing? You're a Bears fan. What are you talking about Niners gang? That's mad corny to me. I'm sorry.
That's how y'all know y'all been losing for too long. Y'all just start supporting anybody that's close to the team.
Yes, I don't care as long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't win. Even if he loses, you wake up the next morning a fan of a horrible franchise.
Horrible franchise.
With terrible ownership, no GM, and no head coach after 3 weeks.
And what the Browns say? Y'all going to wake up in the morning and have to live your lives, man.
So I had to throw the Bears fan base on the petty train, man. Like, let's stop. Be a real fan base, man.
Hey,
there is no.
Y'all never let it go until y'all find a Patrick Mahomes that y'all draft and not skip over. Because Patrick, remember, Patrick Mahomes did that at y'all place. He wanted that pizza. He wanted Michigan in Rush Street. He wanted to see the beam. You know, he wanted to get a nice place at Navy Pier. He wanted to do the concerts in the summer, Chicago time. And y'all saying no. Y'all sitting in the barbecue land in Kansas City. That's petty. That's petty.
Bears fans were so corny and celebrating after Aaron Rodgers lost to the Niners, and then turned around on Sunday and had to watch the guy they gave up on and passed over get to his 4th straight AFC championship, beating Josh Allen, while the guy they took sat on the bench for the Bills.
Behind the back.
Behind Josh Allen.
No, not Josh Allen. He's behind Davis Webb.
3rd string. The guy you took over the guy that's going to 4 straight AFC championships is the 3rd string quarterback for the team he just beat. There you go. So you want, laugh at Aaron Rodgers, but Packers fans can laugh at you even harder. Trust me. Trust me. Like, come on, man. Stop
Patrick
doing
Mahomes
that.
Still beating your pick.
Rooting for the team that you don't like just because you're not there, you're not in the championship. That's corny. It's corny.
Corny.
So I have to put Bears fan. Grayson Allen. Look, man. I blame Coach K for this crap.
Because Coach K let it ride.
The kid should have been reprimanded harder when he was at Duke. He's dirty. He's disrespectful. And to do what he did to Alex Caruso, who had just come back from injury. He was only 3 games back from the injury. Now this dude is out 6 to 8 weeks.
See, he do it to the ones he can do it to. Come on.
That's what he does. And see, now,
he ain't doing that to no Cam Reddish.
You don't have
RJ Barrett.
You don't have real OGs in the NBA anymore. This is what made me mad. He did that to Alex Caruso, and nobody walked up on him from the Bulls roster. Not one person.
But let's be serious. Who y'all got?
At least fake fight.
Like that.
At least fake fight.
What's Kobe White gonna do it?
No. No, that's my point.
Zach LaVine gonna do it?
The whole league, Zach is hurt. But the whole league is soft.
I'm not gonna say the whole league.
League is soft. You throw my man down like that, I got some words for you, bro.
You know, they be finding the boys some heavy tickets.
They suspended him for 1 game. This man is out 6 to 8 weeks. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, I got to throw them on their PR team. How do you come out and say you disagree with the suspension? How dumb do you have? Who's working in the PR department? It's the most talk about foul the entire weekend. The guy is out 6 to 8 weeks, and you come out with a statement as a team saying you disagree with the decision of the NBA to suspend him for one game? Man.
Oh, man.
Man, it was just certain levels of dumb this weekend. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Super chat. Chadwick Brown. We appreciate you. Word on the street is Tate Moore is a package.
Shit, I hope.
If that's the case, that bodes well for Notre Dame. Once again, check out that Carnell Tate interview. Lucky Lefty Podcast YouTube page. Thank you for getting it up over 3,000 views. We appreciate you guys. But, I mean, if Tate Moore a package, that bodes well for Notre Dame. Matter of fact, I just wrote an article on Irish Breakdown about Detroit and the 3 guys in the 2023, well, the 2 guys in the 23 class, defensive lineman and Dante Moore, and the offer that just went out to a 2025 quarterback out of the Detroit area as well. So Detroit could be a very fertile area for Notre Dame in the next 2 to 3 years. Kid is a freshman and just won the state championship, class of 25, coming out of Detroit. And Malik, you knew about him already. You talked about him to me offline.
87% of Detroit is black, man. Marcus Freeman know where he's going to get that recruitment.
Crazy. Bronson D fan, Malik, do you think TB can be successful running a pass option offense similar to what Donovan McNabb ran at Syracuse?
Man, Tyler Buckner's success is based on what Tommy sees himself running. If Tommy can't call plays for the skill type of Tyler Buckner, it's just going to look rough. You know, it's just going to look rough because Tyler can only use his skill set only so much.
Yeah.
But the teams in the schedule we're playing, you're gonna have to play in unison with your offensive coordinator. So my hope is that their relationship strengthens to where the calls are synonymous with his talents, because what we did last year is not going to win us the games it won this year.
Yeah.
So the offense has to look different if it wants to fit what Tyler does better, because we know Tyler and Jack are totally different opposites in how you're going about calling the game. So that's the challenge.
Yeah.
How does Tommy adjust his calling to his quarterback?
Tom Ballard says Bears better hire Buffalo OC Dable. I totally disagree. Bears need to hire the best head coach.
I totally disagree.
Dude, you can't give me your resume is Tua, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. Nah, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Nope, there was nothing about that offensive game plan last night that had me saying,
yeah,
oh man, that's creative. No. Quarterback run, RPO. No.
Tomato.
There's nothing creative. Matt 2011 GT, what round are the Bears going to take?
Shit, probably first, the way y'all be having to do it.
If Brian Pace was still the GM, I do.
They be talking about big steal.
That would be a real question. That would be a real question. Let's see. So, big announcement. Tom Ballard said, hurt me. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to. The Bears just need to hire the best coach.
Yeah.
They just do. The best head coach. And I would prefer one that's actually had some experience as a head coach. I would. I got Antoine Porsche Rideau, I assume. Shaun, as a Bears fan, how did you feel when my 49ers beat the Packers and Malik? Congrats to the Bengals. Also, my 49ers would beat the Lambs for the 7th straight time. And
go the Lambs. Oh, no.
That's funny.
Lambs?
That's funny. That's mad funny. I'm not a corny Bears fan, so I didn't feel any type of way.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm not about to cheer for no
yeah.
49ers that they beat.
I had no dog in the fight. I was just sitting back as a fan observing. And my biggest takeaway is like, yo, it's cat Aaron Rodgers once again.
Got him again.
Can't get it done. It's all that's
just like Mark Sanchez Allen.
Let's see. He said, David Solomon, I like Pine to play a lot next year. He won't need to win the starting job to get playing time. Reese will find ways to get him to be productive.
I'm going to just say next question, man. You talking about a guy that was a third stringer last year. That you're saying Tommy's going to find time for his production? A third stringer? Y'all not serious, man.
Oh, man. So,
not serious.
Don't forget, LL Nation, tomorrow we start at 9 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. we'll be joined by former Notre Dame running back. Go ahead, you introduce your boy.
The one and only Cam McDaniel. I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited. Wait, but we got to address Kai. Hold on. We got to address the chat. Kai said something about us in the chat. We're not positive on the QBs. Kai S. We gotta talk, Kai.
Oh, I see you.
We gotta talk, Kai. Come on, man. What are we not being positive about? We said Tyler should have started last year. It wasn't until we got information from people on the team that don't got the confidence we got in the same guy. I think we'd be all right. Look, like I said, Drew or Tyler Buckner, we can win 8 games if we close our eyes.
And Lee Marie.
Come on, Lee Marie.
Dude, we didn't say one. We just laughed at the perception the wide receivers have of the quarterback. Don't get mad at us.
Come on now.
Don't get mad at us.
Matter of fact, I'm tired of looking at the production. This podcast, if anything, is giving motivation and some realization that we could get better if we take the steps. We're only pointing out the steps that aren't being taken. And the steps that are being taken, we like, why are we calling Keaton Slovis?
You've never heard me say, I'm giving Tyler Buckner 5 seconds.
Never.
On this podcast. You never heard me say, I'm giving Drew Pine 5 seconds on this podcast. You know when I don't like somebody. Kane Madden was trash. You knew that every episode, every post game, every preview show. You knew how I felt.
Straight up.
About Kane Madden. You have never heard either one of us say anything disparaging about Tyler Buckner or Drew Pine.
Just begging for us.
We literally called Drew Pine the people's champ. He is literally the people's champ.
Y'all fight for the third stringer so hard. I've never seen anything like it.
He's the people's champ.
He's a people's guy. I mean, hey.
So Wednesday, so Cam McDaniel, Tuesday, right here, 10 a.m. Wednesday, once again, another great show, another great episode. 10 a.m. on Wednesday, former Notre Dame running back, CJ Procise.
My guy.
Right here with the guys, Lucky Lefty Podcast. And then probably the most exclusive interview that we've ever had. The most
wanted.
You're not
going to find it nowhere else now.
No, sir. This Friday, we'll let you know. We're scheduling to have it this Friday. It's going to be a blockbuster.
Blockbuster. You have to get in early.
Yo, we spin it different. LL Nation, we spin it different. Everybody else, we love everybody that talks Notre Dame football. We just spin it different.
That's right.
We do it different. We're here to give you great content. That's what we do. So don't forget, share, subscribe, like. Check us out on Apple Podcasts as well. We have somebody, as always, I respond to the comments after the show, to all of our comments on our YouTube channel. Somebody said, when are you guys going to be on Apple Podcasts? I had to let them know. We've been on Apple Podcasts. Search A2S Network. All of our previous shows will pop up right there. And we're here for you. So don't forget, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Cam McDaniel. 10 a.m. on Wednesday, CJ Procise. And then
Got that blockbuster Friday.
We have this interview locked and loaded. Hopefully it won't change on us. If it does, we're still going to make the effort to get it locked in.
That's right.
Any closing remarks, man? Any more digs you want to take at
no digs. Hey, Bengals going to the chip, and I might even be there.
So that means it's 100 on the line, right?
Oh yeah, we ain't running.
So
it's crazy you don't want to take the Vegas bet, but now you bigger than Vegas or something.
Why would I take a dude? First of all, let me see the early line. Let me see the early line.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. Just we could do straight up. Just know that's a real cheap bet. You know who does straight up? And when I was like 10 and 12,
what do you mean real G's do straight up bets?
No, you do straight up bets in high school when you don't know the lines and stuff.
Man, get the heck out of here, dude. Either you're gonna win the game. Oh, first of all, the early line that lets me know everything I need to know right there. The early line is 7.5. That lets me know everything I need to know about this game right there.
It's
7.5. Vegas is begging everybody to come take the Bengals. They are begging. They're like, yo, we're going to put a 7.5 spread out there. And we know everybody's like, ooh, the Bengals ain't hot. They're the hottest team in football. I'm getting 7.5.
Whatever. Look, it is Monday. Let's see if it's 7.5 by Saturday.
It's not going to go down but another 2 points, maybe.
We don't know what it's going to do.
Dude,
because nobody thought the Bengals were going to be here.
You're begging for 7 points. That's number one. You're trying to hedge. You talked all that trash.
Wait, the bet is still on.
Dude, are they going to win on the scoreboard?
They're going to win on the scoreboard.
Okay, then. What do we need a point spread for?
Because that's what you do when you bet.
You soft. You see what I deal with, LL Nation? See, he won't take a straight up bet.
It is a straight up bet.
Either he believes in his Bengals.
I believe we're going to win, and I should get the points.
Say it again.
I believe that we're going to win.
That's it. Wait. No. Because the purpose of the points is not necessarily believing. I can take the points and not necessarily believe that the Bengals are going to win.
But you believe the Chiefs are going to win.
Yes, so I don't need points. For what?
But why would you not give me the points if you believe they're going to win?
What are you talking about? This is about the scoreboard. It's not about Vegas.
All right, Vegas, non-Vegas. We good.
This is a bet on who's going to win the game.
Either way.
Not who's going to beat the spread. We're not betting the spread. We're betting who's going to win the game.
Bengals to Super Bowl. That's all we got, Lefty.
Okay. So we're going to have the live transaction next Monday. Malik's going to be cash apping me my 100 on the show.
All right.
Let's see. Lee Marie said, sorry, guys, I witnessed the laughing from Malik Zaire. Mr. Zaire. It's your Mr. Zaire.
Oh, shit. You getting for real.
Quarterback performance is more than the quarterback. She's getting deep now. It is offensive production from all. I am quite sure in Malik's 3 starts at Notre Dame, he will agree.
So, man.
I don't know if I agree. That second part, you go ahead. I'm going directly at that second part because that's not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the QB performance is a personal thing. Nobody ain't telling you to, you're throwing the ball, whether it's a tip or a bad pick or a great play. You're throwing it, you're controlling it. So your performance is solely based on what you do. Now, we didn't say he's throwing it to guys and they're dropping it. We're saying that guys that's supposed to be catching it is like, damn, I'm not even getting that. So it has to be a two-way street. I think offense production, we talk about Tommy's got to set him up nice. Tommy's got to give him something that he can work with based on his skill set. there's a lot of times in the game that even with good or bad plays, the players got to still make the play. Yeah. Now, I believe Tyler has more playmaking ability than Jack, but I also know that if Tyler doesn't develop, it's going to be a lot harder on everybody else on the offensive side of the football. So I'm in hopes that Tyler gets really good so he can help alleviate all the other bad stuff. That's the mark of a good quarterback. If you take that quarterback off the team and the team distinctly looks different, it's because that guy hides a lot of the bad stuff. I'm just asking for a guy that can hide the bad stuff. That's all. Because if we can get that guy, defense going to have us right. So, yeah, offensive production is surely about the quarterback. The other parts that play into it is what makes it either he's hiding stuff or he makes the team better. We've never had a quarterback in the last – I mean, what would you say? Would you think Ian made the team better or worse, or he was just good at not making it bad or worse? It was just – he just did his job. So – we'll be all right.
Yeah, my only pushback is you can't be selective.
Yeah.
With us. You can't pull out the fact that he laughs, that Malik laughs at certain things, but then like dismiss the fact that in the beginning of the season in August before the game started, Malik said Tyler Buckman needs to be the starting quarterback. You can't leave that out. In the middle of the season, after the Wisconsin game, Malik said once again, Tyler Buckman needs to be the starting quarterback. Why was Drew Pine in the game at that point in time?
I even said he should have played in the Fiesta Bowl.
So
now look at where we at.
You can't
talking about quarterback competition.
You just can't ignore that. You can't. Can the quarterback position be impacted by the performance of others? Absolutely. I mean, that's why it's 11 on 11. The performance of somebody else can impact anybody, but the great quarterbacks,
the ones that get paid the most, we saw the ones that get paid $500 million, they win the game with 13 seconds left, going to full field. So, yes. Do we have a guy doing that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Did it look bleak when the best player on the defense for the Chiefs went down? Yep. Did it look bleak in the fourth quarter when Snead, their best one-on-one defender, went down? Yep. Know what Patrick Mahomes said to all of that? That don't mean a damn thing. That don't mean nothing. None of it. I'm the quarterback. I'm about to go do this. That's all we're asking for in Notre Dame. Can we please have one, just one quarterback that makes us feel like every time we step on the field, we're going to win the game because he's the one getting the ball when it's snapped. That's all we're asking for. And we have yet to see anything from Tyler Buckner to expect that he's going to be that dude. And we constantly and consistently say it's not Tyler Buckner's fault. We put that on the people that were developing. Because if Tyler Buckner was under Lincoln Riley, he probably would look totally different at this point in his career. So you have to listen to everything we say. Yeah, we're allowed to laugh and joke. Because your quarterback shouldn't be pulling his hamstring.
So
what?
We'll be all right. Till next time, Lucky Lefty Nation.
You know, we just don't want it to be misconstrued, you know, because eventually I have to walk in the locker room and look at these dudes. You know, now that I'm with Irish Breakdown as well. And I don't want it to be out there like, oh, that's the dude that doesn't like me or Malik doesn't like me.
Yeah,
no. Said that.
That's why you got to subscribe to the channel, like what we got, because you'll see the whole thing. And you might agree with us at the end of the day.
Well, no. We want you to have your own opinion. Have your own thoughts, your own opinions. Just don't misconstrue what we're saying.
No, straight up.
Right. Just don't misconstrue what we're saying. That's why we love our chat, because our chat, the discussions have me dying laughing during the show when I take a look at them like, the chat is wild today. But, man, that's why we love you. That's why we love LL Nation. So, once again, don't forget, tomorrow, Cam McDaniel joins us at 10 a.m. and then Wednesday at 10 a.m., CJ ProSize. I'm going to find out what it is that makes this cat Malik Zaire special. You know, because he claims he's the only starting quarterback at Notre Dame never to throw an interception.
That's right.
That's his claim to fame.
Claim to fame. Look, that's all right. I got that.
Let's see. Somebody said you smoking a doggy biscuit, dude. Oh, Tommy Guns. I'm sorry. You did ask this earlier in the show. Are you hearing any murmur of a rumor of Aaron Rodgers to Tennessee? I know if I was Tennessee,
downhill.
if I were Tennessee, I would be calling him. I would have called him before he played his game. Like that little 10-minute break in between Tennessee losing and Aaron Rodgers taking the field, I would hit him up. Like, hey, you still in the locker room? It's real.
It's real.
No matter what happens, it's real. Let's do this. So, but Aaron Rodgers said that I don't think he's going to quit. I'm not necessarily sure he's going back to Green Bay, but I will say this. His decision won't come into free agency. And that's the biggest domino in the NFL right there. That's the biggest domino, what he does. And Deshaun Watson coming back. Those are the two biggest dominoes in the offseason. And we'll see how the NFL turns after that happens. So next week, as I said before, next Monday, the slant will be back, but we're back Monday through Friday with Cam McDaniel tomorrow, and CJ Procyse. And then next Monday, I'll get my $100 from Malik, and we'll find out next weekend. We'll find out on Sunday who's going to be playing Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl in LA.
Yeah, right. Until then, thank you, Lucky.
See you guys tomorrow. LL Nation, spin it different today.